beautiful sunny Llanelli, triumphant once again. What a game! Finally, we have a referee who's willing to just ref it as it is. And in fairness to Leinster, there was two teams there who wanted to play. And we had a cracking game. It was great to watch. The excitement, the passion, the physicality of it, the needle. It was great. Played in the right spirit. If I could watch a game like that every week, I'd be well happy. We'd have no problems in the league if we could watch a game like that every week. It says it all at Sky who were broadcasting it though, isn't it? All those little dirty deeds that they create on the BBC. They weren't there for Sky, were they? And in fairness, from what I've seen of Leinster's fans' reaction as well, magnanimous in defeat. They are, they recognise that they didn't play well enough to win. And I tell you what, from a Scarlets fan's point of view, I didn't see that victory. I thought, when I saw the teams, the lineups, I thought, oh, Leinster look a bit too strong for us here. Because the team they had out was a strong team. It was packed with Irish internationals. I think it was 13 altogether. And then the rest of the squad was peppered with quality foreigners. And when they scored, we started well. We started like, oh, we're going to take it to these here. And then within a split second, Leinster get one chance. They're under our posts. And it was a well taken try, a very well taken try, a beautiful line. And it says it all. He wasn't up against any mugs. That Tio, he was, Scott Williams can tackle, but there was enough confusion. There was enough confusion created at 10. And it just allowed that gap, but it was a gorgeous line that he picked. And you just thought, but the reaction from the Scarlets then was superb. And I tell you, I could go through the whole team really. There's something brewing down in Parker Scarlets, boys. There's something, those little saucepans are simmering away on top of the posts, and there's something cooking, boys. And I like what Wayne Pivac is cooking. I like the smell of it. It's beautiful. It's got my juices going, boys. My appetite for the game is coming back slowly, despite the political problems, despite this poorly run league we play in. That game last night was like, it restored my faith a little bit. And I said before the game about Leinster, their fans, and I got a soft spot for Leinster anyway. Looking at them, I mean, it surprised me really that they were coming into this game struggling for form. I hadn't noticed it, to be honest. I saw they drew with the Ospreys, but when I went on their side, I realised that their fans they're not happy really with the way they're playing. And looking at sort of this, the players they've got, the quality players they've got, they don't seem to be performing to the level you'd expect them to. Which, but in fairness, I think it was a bit of, you could see Leinster were out of sorts, you could see that. But at the same time, the Scarlets did, at crucial points in the game, create a bit of a stranglehold. They almost, you could see though, it could have gone either way, because the Scarlets could have thrown it away just as easily. There were a couple of talking points, as there always are, and I understand George Clancy, the referee. He can't see and get everything right. all the time, okay? But there are a couple of instances. Leinster fans, in fairness, I don't think they've created much of a fuss. It's more the coach has sort of questioned the officials, which to every Welsh fan out there has just incinerated the irony meter. Are they serious? We've had 5 years of this, of dodgy calls and blatant, and you can only put it down to corruption. That we finally get a game where it's not too bad. It's not too bad, and straight away they're on the backs of the officials. We need to have neutral officials. Blah blah blah. Hang on a minute now. They were neutral. He's from bloody Munster. He's not from he's not from Lesley, was he? The ref. And Tim Hayes, I don't know. I'd have to check, but I don't think he's from Lesley. So if you're allowed a Munster ref, surely we're allowed a Welsh TMO then. And the thing is, they obviously got short memories, because this league started off with neutral referees, but both the Irish and the Welsh were so sick to the back teeth of Scottish referees that they decided it was better to have the away side have their own nationality of ref rather than have a neutral Scottish ref. Because, and I'll just say one word, chang-a-lang. Sorry, the Leinster fans, in the way they haven't gone looking for easy scapegoats like their coach has. That says a lot, actually, that their coach has gone straight onto the referee, but their fans haven't. I think their fans realised that they expected better from 1 to 15 there. There was a disallowed try for Leinster. Once again, the Leinster fans haven't really created much of a fuss about it. Now, this has been going on for the last, a long time, but more so in the last couple of weeks. It's been evident that it's a tactic across the board with four Irish teams, that they will say, if you look back to the Munster rant I had, I was going on about it then. Munster, when we played Munster, they were coming through a ruck, out the back of the ruck, past the back foot, on a couple of yards, grabbing hold of a player who was in a defensive line and having a bit of a wrestle with them to stop him from getting into a defensive hole. Now, Munster were getting away with it time and time again, but it didn't create a try. That was the thing. It just created momentum with Munster, and that's why I think they got away with it. And Connacht have been doing it as well, and Ulster, they've all been doing it. But I think the reason, people are saying that the Leinster player, the player that he took out wouldn't have got to the tackler anyway. What are you talking about? He was looking to fill that gap long before the player with the ball run through it. He would have been standing there. That gap was there because he'd been held back seconds earlier. It was ridiculous. And to say, Ken Owens threw him, yeah, he threw him because he was trying to get him off. That's directed to the Leinster coach there now, not so much the Leinster fans, because I noticed the Leinster fans haven't really moaned about that decision at all. The other one, he missed a few against us as well, so it evened out, even if you think that's not right. The high tackle on Rhys Priestland, what can you say about it? He watched it on the screen and he decided not to do anything about it. But in fairness, overall, I can cope with that. I can cope with the odd decisions. I can cope with losing by the odd decision. It's when you enter a game, and this is where Welsh fans have been sick of it really. is that we're entering games and we do not stand a chance. We're just there to make the numbers up. It's pitiful. With the corner game against Cardiff, it's fascinating because I've been watching Cornack play the last few games because obviously they're rivals for the top six with the Scarlets, and they're playing some naive rugby. They're a great side. They're a capable side, right? They got good forwards, honest. They got some underrated players there. I noticed that they can play some good stuff. But for some reason, and I noticed it when they played the Scarlets a couple of weeks ago, I also noticed it, I can't remember against the Dragons. Now, they got away with it at the Dragons, but they did it again then against Cardiff. And that was, they were trying to play the game from everywhere. And it was like, hang on a minute now, get yourself some field position. They were trying to score from everywhere. And even though at first against Cardiff they were dominating the game, much the same as what they did against the Scarlets as well, you could just see that they're not playing heads-up rugby here. There was a time for a half-back combination to say, right, let's put the foot on the ball, let's get some field position here and play from there, put them under pressure. When you're playing in your own half, intricate moves, that's high pressure rugby there, that's high risk stuff. And it came back to bite Connacht in the arse, right? Now, for Connacht's coach, Pat Lam, I respected him as a player. I've been watching Connacht grow under him, and I got respect for him as a coach. But the media people at Connacht need to grab hold of him and gag him because he's talking out of his ass. He's having a go at Leighton Hodges. Once again, right, there's certain people in Ireland, they're released in the media, I don't think they do self-awareness at all, do they? Huh? But, and we topped it all off, the Ospreys then stuffing Munster. It's always nice to see that, because nobody, apart from Munster fans, I don't think anybody likes Munster. And don't give me that crap about, they're the Man United of rugby. Fuck off, right? Fucking cheats they are. They're not, and I blame Neil Back. Neil Back I blame, because after he cheated against them, the whole ethos of Munster changed, didn't it? You know what I mean? They were willing to cheat and do anything then to get anywhere once Neil Back cheated against them. So, it was nice to see them get stuffed against the Ospreys. When you see how understrength the Welsh regions are during the internationals and underfunded they are, then it's nice to see. So it sets the tone up nice now for the weekend, doesn't it? With the Ireland game, with them all coming over here. Because there's one thing, right? It does, but it bugs a lot of people. Mark Robson, is it? Of Sky TV. I mean, number one, I'm going to settle something right here, Mark Robson, right? It's Park Scarlets. It's not Parky Scarlets, it's Park Scarlets. Yeah, Ian, what are you doing? Give him a dab, man. Give him a dig. Tell him how to say it. It's bloody annoying. Oh, the guy's an idiot. He's just some little jester, isn't he? From Ulster. And, what did he say? He came up with a puller. Ken Owens, he's like Cronin. What? Cronin isn't fit to lace Ken Owens' boots. What are you talking about? Ken Owens was the Welsh hooker. It's just he's had an operation. Oh, I tell you. Well, yeah, I mean, let's go back to the Scarlets. Right, Ken Owens. Captain Scarlett, Scott Williams, another one, the generals. I mean, they both could be captains, really. It's great to see homegrown West Walians being the leaders in that team, not relying on a foreigner to come and show us how it's done. No, we got foreigners there that are solid and generals as well. But the main boys taking it to the fore, right? I can't wait to see Rob Evans and Samson back as well, right? But we've got some homegrown players here, and they're sticking it to teams that have got all the bells and whistles, right? They're all coming down here thinking they're all it, and the boys are getting in their face and saying, hey pal, you come here and you want to win, you're going to come through us first. And I like that attitude. I like James Davis. He takes it a bit too far sometimes, but I like his attitude, the way he's getting in there at the coalface and move me off your ball, win the ball, go on, win it off me. I love it. It's getting me enthused with our teams again, because with my team again. Because I genuinely feared at one point that Roger Lewis was going to kill them. I just thought that, but you can see light at the end of the tunnel here. And you know what's funny as well is, it only takes one little round, of the Welsh showing their teeth a bit, right? And all of a sudden, the Irish are all, they don't like it, they? As the old saying goes, they don't like it up them. And you can see it. You can see the fallout already. And what a message. I think the Dragons playing Ulster today, But what a message I would send now for their provinces to have a wipeout against Welsh opposition the weekend before the international. That would be quite something, actually. And I'm looking forward. I'm going to do a separate video for the Ireland game, but I'm licking my lips for it now, whereas I wasn't too bothered. I was just, but now it's about, there's a lot of emotion built up here that needs releasing from across Welsh rugby, and I'll say it now, I do fancy Wales. I fancy Wales to stuff them, to really ram it up them. Because I said the other day, didn't I? These Irish teams, I said it in my last video, I think. These Irish teams, including the national team, they're ordinary, they're average teams. They're not that great. It's just they've been living off refereeing performances that, for years, making them look a lot better than what they are. And especially at home. But you know what I mean, one swallow, as they say. There's a lot of games to go, but who knows? Leinster, they got a lot to do with. They could end up getting sucked in, couldn't they? I don't think they're that far off now. I think they're on like 51 points, aren't they? You never know, a couple of bad results and it could go down to the last couple of weekends as to they might find themselves outside if Connacht and Scarlets keep winning. But we'll have to wait and see, innit? But yeah, it was good to see last night. There's a lot of good body language and the footwork of people like Ken Owen, Scott Williams, Barkley, Cubs. He's only small, but he always seems to be able to find that gap to be able to power through. He's intelligent. He's a very intelligent player, both in defence, destructive and offensive. He's very, very good. Underrated. And what's good from a Scarlets point of view is when you got Mr. WIU, Sam Warburton, sorry. No, but when you got Sam there, dual contracted, and you've got second then is Tapurek at the Ospreys. So, James Davis, we're not going to have that scenario where as soon as he's had a couple of good games, he's gone to the jail of Glamorgan with Wales and we never see him again, right? Because that's what's happened with a lot of players. They've shown a bit of talent, and Wales have taken them, and I said we don't see him again. It happened with George North. Scarlets, he had two good games for the Scarlets. He got picked to play against South Africa and scored 2 tries, and that was it. You're now seeing him again. We'd only just unearthed him. It was so I'm glad, I'm hoping now that's not going to happen with some of the players we're producing now. Hopefully, we've produced as much as Wales need, and the next batch to come through will be hours for a bit, But I hope as well, the crowds have gone from Clelly rugby, I'm talking about mainly now. And I think across the regional game, we were having at one time, and Newport were the 10,000 crowds, and slowly but surely, it hasn't been worth getting a season ticket because you're not seeing the full team. You hardly see them. You know what I mean? So that's why crowds are down. They're sick of watching second teams all the time. So but you never know. Hopefully now there'll be a British League coming in a year or two, and then well, it's up to Ireland if they want to be part of our British League or not. But the administration won't be based in Dublin, that's for sure. I tell you that now. I'd rather it be based in Twickenham, because I mean, in English, at least they show respect towards the names of Cardiff, Clelly, Swansea, Newport. They show just a mutual respect of the names and what they've achieved over the years. You don't seem to get that from the Irish administration. They treat our teams like we should be lucky to have them. Well, in fairness, the Irish teams are a less attractive fixture list to us than what we are to them. Okay, so they can go back to playing each other, as far as I'm concerned. Because they don't do it for me. The names, when I see them on the fixture list, I'm like, it doesn't get me thinking about, let's plan my day around the game or anything like that. I'm like quite happy to watch it on TV sometimes when I see those names on the fixture list. But you put a Bath or a Northampton on there now, or Leicester, or even Wasps, you know what I mean? Those are the games. You look at the history of Clelly, Cardiff. We've got hundreds and hundreds of games in our history racked up against those teams. I think we've barely got 100 fixtures under our belt against the likes of Munster and Leinster. So the sporting rivalry just isn't there. Right, well, knocking on the head now, there's a bit of reaction. There was a marvellous post I saw on the internet. I did want to recite it, but I haven't had a chance to get it off. I have put it up on my Facebook though. I've copied and pasted it in quotations. Have a read of it if you've got time. It's by someone called AD or Ad off Glad, and it sums up a lot of Welsh fans' attitude and our feelings. So right, I'm going to leave you to it now. Have a good Sunday, and I'll catch you in the midweek when I have a preview of the Ireland game. So take care, boys. Ta-ra. Pimp, pimp, hooray! Pimp, pimp, hooray!